Candidate of Philological Sciences Omar Zhalel is a scholar of Abai studies. He's studying the heritage of such outstanding Kazakh thinkers as Abai, Shakarim and Mashkhur Zhusup. Omar Zhalel is well known to readers of the book Hareket, in which, guided by the principle of Abai Be a man get capital, he educates his readers. Today, young people are much interested in foreign philosophy, which teaches motivation. Can the works of Abai become an alternative? Of course, all works of Abai are based on unlimited care for his people and their future. What is the main idea of Abai works? "Oh, my Kazakhs, my poor people," he says. Striving to educate his people, he talks about the most important thing. What does he mean? In his Segiz Ayak 80s, which is integral to the school curriculum, Abai says, "Study, learn how to grow a crop. What is the profound law in trade? Be determined, get it all by hard work. Then there will be a reason for the fun. Since Kazakh is not friend with Kazakh, they will not have good luck in business." That is, Abai's main motivation was the idea of uniting, rallying his people. He says that if everyone pulls a blanket over himself, then the people cannot unite. There will be no good either for the economy or for politics, unfortunately. Abai's words, "Since Kazakh is not friend with Kazakh," are relevant to this day. I constantly wonder, why did human come to this world? It always worries me. And once, 1,000 answers come: to earn a living, to make property, to raise children, to serve the people. However, the main question is not answered. Why does a human come to this world? A human comes to this world to be. What does it mean, to be? We come to show all our human qualities. So Abai asks the question, what is needed to become a person? We need capital, property. He says, be a man, get capital. For example, today we give people useless moralizing, saying, be a human being. Nevertheless, we do not show the way to become a worthy human being. But Abai gave us clear instructions. If you want to become a man, you must know how to do it. What is a way to become a man of Abai? A human being is made up of soul and body. Moreover, a person is about a soul but not a body. For example, we say, how many souls are in the home? In our understanding, a person is a soul who comes to this world for a while as a guest. So Abai tells us that a body is the place where the soul is staying, temporarily being in this world. But why then do you need property, shelter, food? According to Abai, if we do not give all this to our body, then it won't be able to serve a temple for a soul. What is required to become a person according to Abai? You need a decent food, drink and sleep. And if this does not happen, then there can be no talk of any science and art. But these words of Abai are understood mainly superficially. For example, they interpret the phrase, be a man, get capital, as if a person does not have wealth and property, then he cannot be a person. Wealth is considered the pinnacle of humanity. In my opinion, this is a very superficial judgment. Wealth is not a manifestation of humanity. It is only a condition for a decent life, which in turn provides the ground for science and art. This is Abai's highest motivation.
Априори деген ұғым бар қазақта, ғылымда, философияда. Ол алдын ала деген сөз.
Abai says, the problem of the Kazakhs is that they ask God for wealth, but do not notice what has been given to them and what they have. In philosophy, there is such an idea, a priori, in advance. A priori, man has already been given the strength to earn the wealth. God gives strength, which he puts in the body. Kazakhs even have the expression, if you are healthy, do not say that you are poor. Look how many young people do we have who do not realize what the Almighty gave them. They have strength, health, but they are poor. Why? Because they do not realize what is given to them. They lie at home on their couch and say that there is no work. They are young and full of energy, but do not use their strength, do not use it in the right direction. What else does God give? Abai said, "Secondly, God gave you knowledge that teaches you how to direct and spend energy. You must master it. Third, to master and understand this science, the Almighty gave us mind. And if a person does not use his mind correctly, then he does not realize that he has strength, does not use it for its intended purpose, and accordingly lives poorly all his life. This is the highest motivation."
Мотивацияның көкесі осында болып тұрды.
Абай атамыз айтып кеткен.
People understand Abai's concept of a solid personality differently. How do you perceive it?
Толық адам өзі үш қасиеттен тұрады. Ол ғылым, ол әділет, ол рақым дейді.
A solid personality consists of three qualities. They are erudition or knowledge, justice, and mercy. A person should possess these three qualities to achieve integrity, to be useful to the people. First, knowledge must be fair. But unfortunately today knowledge is not always based on justice, because nowadays those who possess advanced technologies are introducing their own rules of the game and dictating them to other countries. And in turn, Abai says, science must be fair. It must also be merciful and noble. Only this way we will achieve integrity. According to scientists and researchers, no one else in the world has such a concept.
Бұл концепция негізінен болашақта жалпы адамзатты мынау келе жатқан экологиялық жаңағыдай басқа да.
But if we understand and can correctly interpret it, then in the future it can save humanity from all catastrophes, because all the cataclysms occur due to the injustice and cruelty of the existing science. After all, we use science to brutally destroy the ecosystem. Abai says that there are no flaws in the creation of the Almighty. Therefore, if the basis of any business is goodness, then it will have a success. Why should a person comprehend knowledge? Abai answers, do not do science for the sake of wealth. Our main problem is that we are engaged in science to get rich and increase our property.
Ғылымды мал табу үшін айналыспау керек дейді. Бізде қазіргі кездегі ең үлкен қателік, біз ғылым арқылы мал таппақшымыз да.
According to Abai, if you do science for the sake of money, fame, or for the sake of being respected, it does not matter if you reach any heights. You will still lose humanity. At the same time, if money, fame, respect, and reverence will come to you, they won't empoison your humanity, but rather they will decorate it.
Мал, яғни мал деген ақша, мақтан, ғиззат, құрмет сені өзі деп тапса дейді. Онда адамшылығынан айырылмайсың дейді.
This in turn comes with professionalism, Abai says. For this, it is necessary to perceive science as wealth. But unfortunately, in modern society, the priority is not knowledge, but material wealth, money. Dollars, pounds sterling, and science is used only as a tool to achieve their goals.
Байлық ретінде қоғамдық санада ғылым тұрған жоқ. Бізде байлық ретінде ақша тұр, доллар тұр, фунт стерлингтер жүз, материалдық игіліктер тұр. Ал біз ғылымды тек қана соған жетудің құралы ретінде пайдаланып отырмыз.
Қазіргі заманның қалыбына салып қарайтын болсақ.
How can modern people become a solid personality?
Ол ғылымды сүю керек. Оның ғылымы әділетті болу керек.
One should strive for knowledge, but knowledge must be fair. What does it mean? Justice implies choice of a person, what he wants for himself and others. But knowledge must also be merciful. For what? First of all, to treat with compassion all God's creatures, to the whole ecosystem, to animals, to the environment, not to mention people. That is, the more you comprehend knowledge, the more you go deeper into them. The more you must be fair and merciful. And here, on the contrary, the more people improve their level of education, the more they become unjust and callous. This is about knowledge, justice, and nobleness. If we talk about a solid personality, then Abai says, personal integrity is formed when mind, heart, and will exist in harmony. One of his words of edification says, with mind we comprehend science, but there is a will, and the will is justice. In the understanding of Abai, a person with a strong sense of will can tame himself. Mercy is the heart. When people asked Abai what a solid personality should be like, he answered, one who can keep the mind, will, and heart in harmony. But at the same time, mind and will must obey the heart. Why? Because all three aspects depend on knowledge. Then knowledge also says, mind, you're right. Without you, it is impossible to achieve anything in this life. Thanks to you, we learn about the Creator and the secrets of two worlds. But this is not the limit of your possibilities. Cunning and deceit also come from you. Both good and evil rely on you, and you, the mind, faithfully serve both. That's your flaw. The heart cannot blindly obey you, but it is always able to discern where is white and where is black, where is good and where is bad. But in the end, it understands everything, and it will not follow you if you conceive the evil, and even move away from you with disgust. Then Abai says, you should obey your heart in everything. If all three of you coexist peacefully, then ashes from your feet can heal the blind. And if you do not find agreement, then I will give preference to the heart. As soon as the will and the mind can obey the heart and achieve harmony inside a person, so this will be a solid personality that Abai speaks of. It doesn't matter at what time this happens. Is the concept of a solid personality, according to Abai, a motivation? Yes, Abai condemns dirty money that a person has earned thanks to his mind and will, but contrary to justice and mercy. Why? Because this is not right. The human mind and will must obey the heart, and the heart is the very place where justice, mercy, and nobility are born. What should a man of heart be like? Abai says that he is an easygoing, obedient, keeping promises person, a person living in conscience, following the mind, not amendable to provocations. To acknowledge what a fair mind recognizes, however difficult it is, not to acknowledge what a fair mind does not recognize. However easy it is, this is a true courage. And what Kazakhs say about the Batir? He is not just a man of the heart, but a man with a wolf heart. We need brave people now. But who are they? Our thinker describes them as follows: obedient, keeping their promises, those who do not follow the animal instinct, who do not change their point of view under the influence of someone. And what do we have now? People obey what the majority expresses and follow their ideas. That is, the herd instinct dominates in society. We lack personal, individual thinking. Abai says, if we want a society to be strong, then each of its representatives must have critical thinking, a mind that obeys the heart, a will that the heart can curb, and progressive thinking. It turns out that Abai offers two concepts of man. The first is ignoramuses, who are led by the majority. Abai calls such people ignoramuses. And what is an intelligent person according to Abai? An intelligent person thinks versatile. He's always fair. Before the life period of Abai, Kazakhs were fair, and this helped them to distinguish black from white. But now the world has become so complicated that just being fair is not enough. Now we need more wisdom. The consciousness and mind of a person are also becoming more complicated. The time has come when the neurons of the brain not previously used begin to work actively. But a person has two minds. One in the head, which we call the cold mind, and the second is the wisdom of the heart. Do not believe different people that would exalt you. After all, they will treacherously betray you. Believe yourself. Your support and happiness are inseparable. Mind and hard work. Are these lines more about the fact that no one can be trusted or about the need to work? In the phrase, do not believe different people that would exalt you, Abai implied manipulation, meaning that people are trying to take advantage of you by exalting. And he tells us that such people cannot be trusted. Do not believe different people that would exalt you. After all, they will treacherously betray you. Abai tells us. That is, such a person praises you for the realization of his interests, but you should not fall for his tricks. Kazakhs have the expression, do not trust the one who gives the word, but believe the one who gives the fabric. And they also say, promises create chores, as the fabrics create things. And Abai develops this thought, believe yourself, and your support and happiness are only inseparable mind and hard work. That is, it's only you who leads you to the achievements, not someone else. This is not so much about the relationship between people, but about who needs to be trusted to achieve the goal. We must not confuse this. The runaway sees the way. Catching up is in a hurry. They follow the will and the mind, he says. It's sometimes said that will and mind and somewhere diligence do not interfere with one another. And Abai says that the Kazakh is straying not from his stupidity, but from the lack of the will. That is, he does not work, does not try. And what stimulates hard work? It is the will. That is, hard work and will are almost synonymous here. Abai says, be aware, me is the mind and soul, and the body is mine. We live peacefully in two different essences. It turns out that you need to learn more on a rational soul, on your inner strength. How can a person know himself? Shakarim says, if you want to know the truth, then know that there is no truth other than God. Our soul has a wild desire to know the truth. Where does this desire come from? They say it comes from God. God created your soul from truth. Do you understand? They say, if you want to know the truth, you should know yourself. Why? Because your soul is a miracle that God created. This is the mastery of the Creator. Abai said, we cannot directly know God. We know Him through the shadows that He created. We recognize masters by His works, and the supreme creation of the Lord is our soul. Our soul keeps qualities of the Creator, and each person must develop them in himself. According to Shakarim, to know the truth, you need to know your soul and answer yourself three questions. Where did I come from? What is my use? What will happen to me after death? And only by asking these questions, a person can know himself. A man who knows himself knows God. Today, few people ask these questions, respectively, a lot of those who are deceived by this mortal world. They do not know where they came from, why they were born, and what will happen to them after their death. To reach your full potential, you need to ask these simple questions, Shakarim tells us. It turns, Abai says, to know yourself, learn 99 beautiful names of Allah. They are in you. One should know the 8 enduring attributes of God, and not only know, but master them. If God is merciful, you also shall be merciful. If God is fair, and you be fair. And only then one will benefit from the faith.
Алла әділетті болса, сен де әділетті бол дейді. Міне, бұл сонда сен иманнан пайда аласың дейді.
Having studied Abai's concept of a solid personality and having written several books about it, Omar Zhalel speaks very critically about those who call themselves poor but at the same time do nothing to get rich. He condemns those people who blame the state and the environment for their troubles instead of blaming themselves.
Abai babamız tanıp durgan təlim tərbiyə.
Our Abai left us enormous legacy. If we consider it generally, then a person who does not engage in philosophical literature on a daily basis may not understand some of his statements. Omar is just the person who interprets Abai's works very successfully and passes it to the younger generation.
Керек жақтарын, рухани керек жақтарын осы ашып, жастарға осын бүгінгі қоғамға жеткізіп жүрген азамат.
In the article Abai and Kazakhstan in the 21st Century, President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev wrote, "The works of the great poet have not lost relevance. The philosophical thoughts and conclusions of Abai remain spiritual food for all of us." Omar Zhalel is one of those scientists who propagandize Abai's heritage and explain to the people the words of edification of the thinker in an accessible language.
Omar ағамыздың айтқан сөздерінің іргетасы бар, яғни фундаменті бар деп айтуға болады. Сондықтан да жалпы жұрт.
We can say that in the words of Omar Zhalel there is a foundation. Therefore he explains very clearly. In addition, his scientific dissertation raised the pressing issues of society to a new level. Therefore, it did not gather dust on shelves, but was published in a large circulation and is in demand in society.
Сондықтан да ол кісінің жаңағы еңбегі сөреде қалып қоймай, қоғамға үлкен таралыммен кітап болып сұранысқа ие болды.
Ахмет Байтұрсынов атамыздың мынандай сөзі бар.
Ahmet Baitursinov said, "The words of Abai cannot be understood immediately, but only when someone interprets them. Do we correctly interpret and pass to our people all the thoughts and words of the edification of Abai?"
Ахмет Байтұрсынов өте жөн айтып отыр.
Ahmet Baitursinov was right. Abai said, "If you sing about girls, batters, they will be encouraged. But they are impartial to the instructions and do not want to listen to them, because they need intellectual work to follow the advice." We now basically learn Abai's works superficially, only a small part of his thoughts. To understand Abai, one must delve into his texts. Abai is the fate of the Kazakhs. To understand Abai, we must prepare such people who will fully understand him. This requires science, and we should spend money on science.
Бұған ғылым керек, ал ғылымнан ақша аямау керек, мал аямау керек, дейсіз бе?
Ал Абай тану ғылымының өзі, енді бұл менің ойым.
In my subjective opinion, Abai's science is aging. There are you, there are your peers, but there are practically no young scientists. Why?
Неге бұлай болып бара жатыр?
Өйткені біз ғылым ғой бұл.
Because it is a science, but science cannot be equated with material wealth. The president quoted Abai in his article. "We do not sell science to make capital. We sell capital to know science." Only in this way we will be faithful to the instructions of Abai. I think only in this case there will be more Abai scientists. Everyone reads Abai, but all of them do not become Abai scientists. To teach Abai, you need to create a serious methodology. Abai mastered all the concepts of both West and East. But to come to Abai, we must master the philosophy of Abai.
Абайдың контексті ол ислам мәдениетінің контексті.
уақытыңызды бөліп бізге сұхбат
Thank you for your time and for the interview.
сіздерге
Thank you too.